Hello everyone. My name is Strange, and I believe that people should know the truth. There are two theories. Firstly, we are not alone in this universe, and secondly, we are alone in this universe. Both are equally scary. Many people ask me, do you believe in aliens? For me, it's not a matter of faith, it's a matter of finding evidence. Aliens, space people, whatever you call them, have been spotted over and over again all over the globe. Today, we will discuss 10 signs that prove the existence of aliens. 10. Astronaut observations confirm the existence of aliens. Agree, it's always interesting when an astronaut proves the existence of aliens. If anyone has a better chance of seeing an alien, it will be astronauts who will venture into space. Now there are rumors that if an astronaut sees a UFO or an alien creature, they can't report it to the press. But that didn't stop them, because over the years, many astronauts have talked about encounters with aliens and their beliefs that aliens exist. In June 1965, when astronauts Ed White and James McDivitt flew over Hawaii on the Gemini spacecraft, they say they saw a strange-looking metal object with long arms sticking out of it. McDivitt took the pictures but said that because of the bright light and dirty windows, they did not capture what he could see properly. It is rumored that he also shot a video, but it has never been released. McDivitt said some UFO promoters did exaggerate the story, but the whistleblowers also underestimated it. Now, whether you believe Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong's moon landing was a hoax or not, they both apparently reported that aliens have a base on the moon and were told to get out and stay away. According to unconfirmed reports, both Neil and Buzz saw UFOs shortly after landing on the moon on July 21, 1969, according to former NASA employees. Autobind unnamed amateur radio operators with their own VHF perception facilities bypassed NASA broadcast channels, intercepted the following exchanges. What was that? What the hell was that? That's all I want to know. What's in there? These kids are huge, sir. Huge. Oh my God, you won't believe it. But I'm telling you that on the far side of the crater, there are other spaceships on the moon watching us. According to former naval officer and Russian researcher Neil Armstrong, he relayed a message to Mission Control that two large mysterious objects were watching them after landing. But the message was censored and never heard by the public, leading to strong speculation about the existence of aliens. 9. Near collisions with flying saucers. The number of collisions involving UFOs and commercial airlines seems to be only increasing every year. There are countless stories that tell us about the existence of aliens, including one of the airline's veteran pilots and his first officer flying to Manchester Airport, who claimed to have seen a large, delta-shaped object heading straight for their position. Just when these highly skilled pilots were about to take action to avoid a collision with the ship, it disappeared. Another story is that an airline pilot reported a near miss in which a UFO shaped like a rugby ball passed within a few feet of his passenger plane while flying near Heathrow Airport. The captain told aviation authorities who investigated the incident that he was sure the object was going to crash into his plane and ducked as it was heading towards him. The incident occurred when the Airbus A320 was cruising at an altitude of 34,000 feet, about 20 miles west of the airport, over the Berkshire countryside. There have been several reports of these near collisions, but they are usually ignored or debunked by the authorities. 8. Meetings that prove that aliens exist. Meeting Taylor is quite an interesting story. Robert Taylor was a forester who went into the woods with his dog on November 5, 1979, to check on some seedlings he had planted. When he reached the clearing in the forest, he was shocked to find a large, spherical spaceship in front of him. The ship apparently had the ability to change colors to blend in with the environment, but it looked like black sandpaper. As Taylor approached the ship, two spiked balls rolled out, which attached themselves to his trousers and emitted a poisonous gas, from which he lost consciousness. When he woke up later, the ship was gone, his dog was barking, and at first he couldn't talk or walk. A police investigation revealed unexplained prints on the ground of the forest clearing, and he also could not determine which tool was used to rip Taylor's trousers. 7. Wow signal. If Jerry Emmon had written what he really thought that day in 1977, we would have been talking about, holy shit, the signal is right now, says 8 Paul Shuch, MN. a volunteer researcher at the now-defunct Ohio State University Big Ear Radio Observatory, studied the sky scanning data of the telescope on August 15, a few days earlier. In those days, such information was run through an IBM 1130 mainframe and printed on perforated paper, and then carefully studied by hand. The boredom dissipated when Emin noticed something amazing: a vertical column with the alphanumeric sequence 6EQUG5, which occurred at 10:16 p.m. Eastern Time. He grabbed a red pen and circled the sequence. It was written in the margins, "Wow." Researchers from Ohio State University detected a signal coming from a distance of almost 220 million light-years, which was so powerful that it was called a wow signal. The scientist wonders how such a strong signal could have come so far without the use of advanced technology. 6. NASA cover-up. The fact that NASA is hiding information from the public has led many to believe that they know about the existence of aliens. One of the most discussed cases of a NASA cover-up comes from Dr. Edgar Mitchell, who was part of the Apollo 14 space mission in 1971. During the two-moon expedition, he spent 33 hours on the moon. Dr. Mitchell said he was aware of several UFO sightings during his career, but each one was hidden. He said that the staff of the space agency described the aliens as little people who seem strange to us. Mitchell stated that their technology is much more complex than ours. He also said that, in his opinion, the Roswell alien disaster in 1947 was real, and the reason it was hidden was because the US did not want the Soviet Union to know about the technology they got their hands on. Apparently, NASA officials commented on Dr. Mitchell's statements, saying, "NASA does not track UFOs and is not involved in any concealment of alien life on this planet or anywhere in the universe. Dr. Mitchell is a great American, but we do not share his opinion on this issue." But Edgar continued to claim that aliens and alien ships are real and sure that we are being watched right now. Another thing that people have recently noticed is that the HD broadcast of the International Space Station is often interrupted when objects are visible in space. 5. Egyptian hieroglyphs hint at the existence of aliens. One hieroglyph depicts images of a helicopter, submarine, speedboat, and jet aircraft thousands of years before they were invented. This find has caused a lot of controversy among Egyptologists and archaeologists who do not know what to think. How could people 23,000 years ago have known about modern airplanes? Some people believe that the ancients had a connection with aliens from another planet, while others believe that aliens from the planet Nibiru are responsible for this. The ancient Egyptians used to talk about creatures that descended from heaven, how the sky will open up, and then bright lights will descend to teach them technique, as well as show them wisdom. There are many people who also believe that this is clear evidence that aliens once visited the ancient Egyptians. They arrived with their advanced technologies and left behind interesting stories to pass on to our ancestors. 4. Meteorites. In 2011, NASA scientist Robert Hoover claimed that aliens exist after he discovered fossils of alien beetles inside meteorites that landed on Earth. Astrobiologist Richard Hoover said that laboratory studies of meteorites do not contain any evidence that the fossils belong to organisms living on Earth. These 3 meteorites are considered to be among the oldest in the solar system. Hoover argues that the absence of nitrogen in the samples indicates that they are the remains of extraterrestrial life forms that grew on the parent bodies of meteorites when liquid water was present. Hoover, an expert on living in extreme conditions, has already reported on similar structures in meteorites several times. So far, none of them have been confirmed as ancient remains of alien life. Hoover argues that the lack of nitrogen in the samples, which is necessary for life on Earth, indicates that they are remnants of extraterrestrial life forms that grew on the parent bodies of meteorites when liquid water was present, long before meteorites entered the Earth's atmosphere. 3. The vastness of the universe. Now even those who do not believe in UFOs or alien photos and videos from eyewitnesses, even among them there are many who believe that because of the enormous size of our universe, it is almost impossible that there would not be another life. First, you have to realize how big the universe is. It is believed that the diameter of the observable universe is about 28 billion parsecs, which is about 93 billion light-years. Now, 1 light-year is just under 6 trillion miles, which is a ridiculous number. So 6 trillion times 93 billion And again, this is just what we can observe. It's not that we don't have the technology for further observations, it's just that other objects didn't have enough time to reach Earth. 2. The Men in Black. In second place on our list of signs proving the existence of aliens are the Men in Black, although not the film. The Men in Black are considered government agents who harass or threaten UFOs and alien witnesses to keep them quiet about what they saw. There have been many myths about them over the years, and it is still a mystery whether aliens exist or not. But if they do, many say it proves that there is something there that the government does not want us to know about. There are tons of reports of people who believe they've had meetings with them. For example, the story of Dr. Herbert Hopkins, a respected family doctor from Old Orchard Beach, Maine, who was studying a UFO case in September 1976, when the phone rang and a man who identified himself as a representative of UFO organizations in New Jersey. The man asked him if he had come to the doctors to talk to him about the UFO case. The doctors said they could come to his house, and after the call ended, Herbert got up from his chair to turn on the light, and the man was already in his house and climbing the stairs. Hopkins was so shocked at how he ended up in the house without knocking in such a short time. I was even more shocked by the strange appearance of this man, he said in an interview. He was dressed in a neatly tailored black suit, black shoes, black socks, a white shirt, a black tie, and a black hat. He also told reporters that the man was bald as an egg and had neither eyebrows nor eyelashes. Herbert said that it could be said that this man had lipstick, since when he wiped his mouth with the back of his glove, his lips were smeared and there were traces of red lipstick on the glove. His voice was clearly passive, as if it were a car. They started talking about the UFO case when this strange man ordered him to destroy all the evidence he had collected in the case. He got to his feet and said very slowly, "My energy is running out, now I have to go goodbye," before suddenly walking down the stairs and disappearing. Dr. Hopkins was left horrified and has no idea what happened that night. 1. The Battle for Los Angeles. The incident occurred less than 3 months after the United States entered World War II, as a result of the Imperial Japanese Navy's attack on Pearl Harbor. It was the day after the Elwood bombing on February 23rd. It all started with the fact that on the night of February 24 to 25, 1942, air raid sirens wailed throughout Los Angeles. The lights were ordered to be turned off completely, and thousands of air raid wardens went to their positions. At 3:16 a.m., the 37th Coastal Artillery Brigade began firing 50 caliber machine guns, and 12.8-pound anti-aircraft shells flew into the air into enemy planes. As a result, more than 1,400 shells were fired. Artillery fire continued sporadically until 4:14 a.m. The all-clear signal sounded, and at 7:21 a.m. the order to turn off the lights was canceled. Several buildings and vehicles were damaged by shell fragments, and 5 civilians died as a result of indirect anti-aircraft fire. 3 died in car crashes in the ensuing chaos, and 2 from heart attacks caused by the stress of the hour-long action. The incident made headlines on the Pacific coast of the United States and received some media coverage across the country. Initially, it was assumed that forces from Japan were the target of the attack, but shortly after, speaking at a press conference, Secretary of the Navy Frank Knox called the incident a false alarm. Some modern ufologists have suggested that the target was a spaceship of extraterrestrial origin. When documenting the incident in 1983, the Office of Air Force History attributed the event to a case of military nerves, probably caused by a lost weather balloon and aggravated by accidental flashes and shell bursts from nearby batteries. If you think that this is not proof of the existence of aliens, then you are right. There is much more evidence, and on our channel, we will reveal all the secrets and evidence of their presence. Subscribe to the channel and send me your stories related to aliens by email. You will find contacts in the About the Channel section. If I haven't answered you, then I'm still checking on you, because the special services of all countries have announced a hunt for me. But together we will force the authorities of all countries to disclose all the information they have. After all, people should know the truth.